Alrighty, we're back, everybody. Let's go talk some poo for the next, 10 minutes, I suppose, until the next game starts.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, basically we're waiting. Rounds are being done up right now. They're just in the process of picking who's going to be on the stream at the moment. Yeah, obviously we'll just have one of us will probably duck off for a couple of seconds just to have a quick chat with them. But yeah, guys, round 2 is about to kick off. It is Duality of Death, so heroes and battle line now, which is exciting. So
Yeah,
a little bit different.
Interesting deployment too, because it sort of splits up on the table, so you've got the two sides. So basically, you really got to think about how you're going to deploy on the table, where you want stuff, what units. You sort of have to think ahead, like what units you're prepared to have grab those objectives if you want it to be a hero or a battle line unit. So we'll see what they do there. So I think this one's really risky with deployment.
Absolutely, and we have a wild Michael who has appeared.
Yes.
Hello, Michael. How are you?
I didn't realise this was recording fucking video, eh?
We're on.
We're on.
Right,
So-
that's an easy question then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that's all. Cool. So at the moment, it's looking like we're going to have some Khorne versus Fyreslayers, which is exciting. I'm just going to go quickly duck off to Michael, brief some people. But yeah, guys, we should have this round kicking off shortly. Yeah, over to Gemma. Let us know who's in the chat. What's going on? Talk to us. Keep Gemma company, and I'll be back in a sec. Thanks, guys.
I need as much help as I can get. I have been asked that before, Wes, but I'll get Josh to provide an example of how that actually happens later, if you like, because I think he might be a little bit better at showing you that. So basically, I'm pretty excited for the Fyreslayers versus the Khorne over there. The Fyreslayers, they're both quite good armies. If I was going to put some bets on at the moment, I think the Fyreslayers, depending on his list, might just sneaky win there. So I will find out who has the Slayers. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Patrick Carter playing the Slayers. So yeah, Heavy Hearthguard. Well, I don't know what his list is. That's why Josh has just gone off to grab the information for us so we can relay that to you wonderful people out in the Twitchverse there. So we'll probably be able to hear Paddy playing from here if he is definitely the Fyreslayers player, because if anyone doesn't know him, he is pretty freaking loud as a human being. And it only gets worse when he's drunk. If anyone hasn't seen him drunk, he's a pretty good weapon. So the Khorne player, I'm not exactly sure of. It might be Tyler McDonald as a guess, but I will find out for sure shortly. So yes, we have had army voting for the painting, and we will be putting up, I've got some photos on my phone, but unfortunately my phone's being used to do the stream with the internet. Gary has got some photos as well. So basically, we will see if those guys can put up some photos shortly for you. So we are just sort of getting everybody in. Everyone's getting to their tables. Oh, Ham. What are you doing to me? Yes, so I'll see if I can drag this. Yes, he does. He does. He walked in this morning with one of those. Dead set correct. I don't know if it's gone yet. I haven't seen it in his hands, so I'm a bit scared if he drinks it now he might get some poisoning, because I was drinking some hot ice break would be a risk. That might be how he wins the game. Alright, so hopefully I can get some information for you guys soon, so I'm not boring you to death at the moment. So some of the armies that were painted here have been amazing. So we do have a really nice Ideneth army that has been painted nicely. We do have Jeremy's Gitz was painted really nicely as well, especially with that conversion with the flying one, old Frostmoon. It looks really good. James Lynch is here. Actually, he's playing Khorne too, so it might be him on the table as well. He has got one of the best armies I've ever seen. So his Khorne is absolutely stunning. So if you haven't seen any of James Lynch's stuff before, you should jump on Twitter and find Mr. James Lynch, or Spongy Paint, he is called on Twitter, and he paints amazing stuff. So he's actually currently painting some Slanesh as well. So if you want to jump on there and check it out, and he does a lot of work with airbrush. So he has a couple of tricks that he teaches people. He throws a few videos up. So if you want to check him out, I would jump on there for sure, get some inspiration and have a look. We also have Adam. He's from Brisbane. He has always had really nice painted armies. I really, really like his stuff. It's sort of like a mixed order army. It is beautiful. And he also painted a friend of his, Carwin, and he has Slanesh. So Adam painted his Slanesh as well, and it looks fantastic. So they are all on Twitter and Facebook. So if you want to jump on, have a look. They're really, really beautiful. So we have got the players. They are unpacking their gear, or some of them are still packing it up by the looks. Looks like food was fairly important. So, oh, his army looks real good in the dead pile. Nice, nice. Are you talking about James Lynch or Adam? Who did you play at CanCon? Mr. Primes? A lot of stuff looks good in the dead pile. James, yep. So I'm guessing you took away a victory then. Because I played him at the recent BrizCon and just got a minor win. Unfortunately, that cost me first place. Due to me forgetting to charge in with some units, so that was my bad. But,
Not bitter at all.
Not bitter at all, no. And then my mate Big Andrew ended up taking out the event with his Fyreslayers. So, yeah, he took away the big sword.
Very cool, very cool. Who's Primes? Primes, who are you? Tell me.
Yeah, tell us about yourself, mate. I'm curious.
I don't know who any of these
I've seen this
people
name
are.
up on my phone a few times now.
I'm always interested to know who people are. I'm slowly working it out, so...
And what were you playing then, Primes, as well, if I haven't read that yet?
Oh, sorry, Sean. Yeah, sweet. It's so hard to keep track of everyone. You did say that before, so apologies there. But yeah, it's definitely difficult to try and keep on top of everyone, so that's okay. We got this. Should be right. So yeah, guys, we have Khorne versus Fyreslayers. Really interesting.
Sean, sorry, Sean. I'm just going to butt in right there, Josh. I
Go
felt
for it.
really rude. Sorry, Sean.
So yeah, guys, we've got an awesome match coming up. Patrick Carter's Fyreslayers versus James Worrell's Khorne, which is really, really cool. So yeah, like really, really interesting. I'm just going to quickly go through the lists. Obviously, there's a lot to go through, but I'll just give you like a bit of a bare bones. A bit of a bare bones run through on their lists. Wes, I do not have any hair on my head at all, so that's false news. False news there. So Patrick Carter is running Fyreslayers. Lodge is Lofnir. He is running a Auric Runemaster on Magmadroth with Explosive Charge and the Prayer of Ash. He's also running an Auric Runefather on Magmadroth. With the Ashhorn Ancient. So basically, sorry, to go back on the Runemaster, Explosive Charge is +1 charge for Magmadroth, +1 charge for Droths. The Prayer of Ash is a +1 save. The next one is the Auric Runefather on Magmadroth, Ashhorn Ancient, so basically reroll 1s for failed save rolls of 1s for Droths within 6 inches. We got another Auric Runesmarter on Magmadroth. Its trait is -1 -1 rend for attacks that target it. Molten Fusion, so his prayers stay on. Which might be a bit of a clue that there might be some endless spells there, or prayers, whatever you want to call them. We've also got another Auric Runesun on Magmadroth. We've also got another Auric Runesun on Magmadroth. So Pat has 5 Magmadroths in this list, which is really cool.
I might just have a quick read
Yeah.
while you go through the other list.
I haven't quite.
Oh, sorry, I'm stealing it. I'm sorry.
He's also got for his battle line 5 Auric Hearthguard, 5 Auric Hearthguard, 10 Auric Hearthguard. So for people who aren't fully aware, they are the shooty Hearthguard. So do better, more damage against monsters. It's a cool list, and he's also got
cool
the
list.
Molten Infernoth and the Runic Firewall. So if you're wholly within 12 inches of the Runic Firewall, it's +1 to your save as well. So there's some tech.
There is some tech there. I'm keen to see this because one, it's not just full of Hearthguard to start off with.
True.
It's only got a small units.
Yes.
And two, I just honestly he must have patience that is just extreme, because trying to paint friggin' 5 Magmadroths, I probably would have just jumped out my window.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah. Super cool list. Really keen to see how that goes. Pat played against Gristlegore in his first round and tabled the Gristlegore by turn 3. So this list has got some tech.
It's got some tech, so.
Pat, I had a quick chat to Pat just before coming back. He did mention he had a bit of luck in regards to not a huge amount of mortal wounds. He didn't get bitten by the maw too much, which was good. Good for him. But yeah, pretty cool. And we'll go through James Worrell's list. So we've got Allegiance Khorne from the mortal realm of Gur. The Slaughter Host is the Blood Lords. To be honest, I don't know what that does off the top of my head, but I'm sure we'll be able to find out shortly. It's usually just what is it?
What are you talking about? Sorry, I was talking to Michael.
The Slaughter Host, just the Blood Lords. I'm just used to everything being the Reapers of Vengeance.
Yeah, me too. The Slaughter Host, that might be the...
we'll find out.
Is it the 4-up attacking first?
I'm not sure, but we'll find out.
We'll find out.
It's not a big deal.
The Slaughter Host, we'll have to find out what the Slaughter Host does.
So basically we'll go through the list. So we've got a Blood Secretor, we've got a Bloodthirster of Incessant Rage, who is the General. His command trait is the Slaughterer's Thirst, so for a CP he can heal a wound. Not specifically game-changing, but you never know, who knows. He's also got the Amberglaive, which allows him to strike first. We've got the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury with the Halo of Blood. We've also got Scarbrand. We've also got a Slaughter Priest with Killing Frenzy, which is +1 to hit, and a Rathacorn Bloodthirster. Battle line units, we have 10 Blood Reavers with Reaver Blades, 10 Blood Reavers with Reaver Blades, 10 Blood Reavers with Reaver Blades, and some Fleshhounds. Battalions, we have the Tyrants of Blood, so obviously all those Bloodthirsters can fight, which is really scary. Oh, so it is a always strike first one. Awesome. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
And for Endless Spells, we've got the Hex Gorgeous Skulls. So a lot of the anti-magic tech from Khorne probably won't come into play, obviously, in this round, unfortunately, for James. But it is what it is. So
it is what it is, but it'll be still pretty close game, I reckon.
Absolutely.
I'm keen to see what these Magmadroths do
Yeah,
and how James Worrell actually utilises using the Bloodthirsters on the Magmadroths, to be honest, because I feel like they're very heavy set with their leaders and the battalions, especially with Khorne, how he's going to use the always strike first and then using the battalion with those Bloodthirsters, and how he's going to manoeuvre it around the Magmadroths here, because these Magmadroths have got a lot of buffs as well.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see, like, if Pat can sort of pull things apart, potentially put Bloodthirsters where they don't really want to be put, as well as all of his Hearthguard are also going to be able to have that great shooting against all those Bloodthirsters as well. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good, and we all know that those guys, they've got a 4-up save, so they're not going to like getting shot, especially
Yes.
if there's any rend there, especially going up.
Neg 1, 2 damage, and then I believe that there's some extra potential damage against monsters,
Yeah.
or there's like some buffs against monsters from memory. We'll have a look.
We'll have a look and sort it out for you guys. We'll get some sort of knowledge first.
Yeah, jumping back in the chat. Yeah, that's right, Sean. So
That's right, yeah.
the one with the artifact to go first, and then that'll trigger off and sort of waterfall. All those
All
other
the other ones.
thirsters can go. So yeah, there's definitely you don't really want to put yourself in a bad position because you can sort of get a lot of your army taken off the board
If
fairly
he can
quickly.
get all those bloodthirsters exactly where he wants them to be in combat, and then use the always attacking first one, obviously, to go first,
Yeah.
and then the rest, it's going to put some hurt out there.
Well, the other interesting thing to think about as well is that we've got fairly heavy heroes on both sides here, so it'll be interesting to see whether they try and continue to cap that same objective with the same hero, or whether they're just going to tag it off and then just sort of push them forward to try and keep them away from their heroes, or what's going to happen here. So
Yeah, exactly. What they're going to use to cap them, if they just go for one or go for both, who knows what they're going to do there as well. So I'll be pretty keen to
I
see
think this
how
is going to
these
be a good
guys
game.
go.
I think this is going to be a great game.
I think there's going to be a lot of thinking between the two of them of what the opponent's going to do.
Definitely.
Yeah, like it's going to. And
There'll be some mind games.
there'll be some mind games and some mistakes made, I can tell. And it's basically whoever's going to make the first mistake is going to be the one that's going to get punished. And I think that's where the tipping point of the game is going to be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it'd be really interesting. Also, as well, guys, let us know how we're sounding. Do we have is our sound levels good? Is everything running smoothly? Any lag? Anything from that regards? As always, if you know anybody that is awake and alive that would enjoy the stream, would really appreciate it if you could share it around. Would love to get as many people watching this as well. That's pretty much. This is exciting. Round 2, almost about to kick off.
Yeah, almost about to kick off. So I'm pretty sure they've just basically have put the objectives onto the table.
Yeah.
And they're just sort of reading out stuff from their book. So it won't be long. We'll be flicking over to the table, and we'll hopefully be starting to do the deployment.
Yeah, so we'll cross over shortly as soon as some models start getting put down on the board. But it looks like at the moment they're just sort of running through what their lists do, having a quick chat with each other in that regards as well. So it's going to be great. I'm excited.
I'm excited about this. I really think it's either going to be over really quickly or not.
Absolutely.
Or one or the other.
Yeah, well, it's one. It'll be interesting. I think it'll be like whoever takes first turn. I think that'll be big, and I'm thinking that how they choose to have their score points, I think will be really big as well. So.
No worries. So, Paddy has he's won the side of the table roll. And he's just deciding which side of the table he wants because he's really worried about the nullification terrain.
Oh. Okay. But does nullification affect press?
No, just the endless spells and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it can stop endless spells. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So he does have 2 endless spells in his list.
Is it a prayer though? Is that effective?
But that's why we're laughing. Because he's worried about nullification
When it doesn't affect it.
When it doesn't affect it.
Ah.
So.
Well, looks like I was caught out as well, so that's great. But it should be really, really cool. I'm excited. Yeah, I just want to see what happens. It should be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be bloodthirsty. I think so.
That's correct. Well, Clint did lose the first round, yeah. So one of the best looking gentlemen playing Warhammer here today. Unfortunately,
Cliff.
Manfred did not win the game for him. It was all over.
Yeah, well, Clint was really nice. Clint bought us McDonald's for lunch, so I had a cheeseburger and a frozen Coke, so pretty stoked on that. And one of the other guys who's playing JD brought in some cupcakes for everyone, so that's...
Now, I haven't tasted one of them yet. I might have to have a cheeky snack halfway through. They're only little, thank God, otherwise I'll probably end up with icing everywhere.
Yeah, that could be a good look, absolutely. I won't tell you either.
So thanks, stuck in my teeth and stuff would be marvellous.
But yeah, guys, like we were saying, it's an interesting match. It's an interesting scenario as well. Super heavy. Both armies have the ability to blow each other up fairly quickly. It'll be really, really interesting. I don't think that there's really... I think who will favour this match will be who decides to go first, I think. So... I think whoever sort of, you kind of want to get on those objectives, but you also want to try and stay away from those, all that aggression, you know what I mean? So.
You do, and I feel like the Khorne player has probably got possibly more chaff units than the Fyreslayers player. So I know Battleline can score the objectives here, but you also want to protect your assets, and because they're such heavy leaders, based lists, they're the ones going to be doing the work for you.
Absolutely. So
it's quite tricky.
it'd be interesting because they could really like push all their big toys forward and then get their battle line to sit on it, or they might want a hero on there. There's definitely like lots of paths to victory here. So
definitely, and there's definitely mistakes to be made between that, choosing who's going to take it, because obviously if you make the mistake of putting a hero on it and then you need that hero to do some work for you, getting the battle line unit that could possibly be near it or behind it taking it, you lose the amount of points. You go back to the one scoring point.
Yeah, well, that's right. And another interesting thing to think about there as well is that the real threat of a double turn in this scenario with both of these armies is really interesting dynamic as well, because realistically, like a double turn would potentially crush each of these armies pretty heavily, I feel. So.
Yeah, definitely. So I haven't got much experience with the new magma droths in combat. I know they are a little bit better than what they used to be, so I'm curious to see how they go in combat as well.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, the interesting thing about it as well is that there's so much synergy between all of these magma droths. So, like, obviously the Auric Rune Suns give you reroll hits between both of them. You've also got plus one on charge, rerolls on different rerolls, hits from Gilded Claws on one of the Rune Smiters. You can reroll wounds within 12 of each other as well, when there's other synergies present. So it's I think there's a lot of tech here that isn't really noticeable unless you play Fyreslayers or know Fyreslayers well, I feel. So.
Exactly, yeah. And if he does play it right, I think there's more tricks to the Fyreslayers list than there is Khorne. And especially with these re-rolls, I think he's just going to have a slight upper hand with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really, really interesting. Jumping back into chat, I believe Clint did unfortunately go down in the first round. Eat cake on camera. We can do this. We have the resources. We have the tools. Clint confirmed that he would get intimate with Manfred. Hey, I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest. So, I'm sure he's got a great little body underneath that armor. He could swing. He could be polygamous. Who knows?
Who knows?
We don't know.
Could be empty soul.
We don't know.
Empty soul.
Yeah, maybe a lot of insecurity there, and that's how he vents that insecurity.
A bit of shame.
I'm talking
probably
about Manfred, by the way. So.
Yeah, a bit of shame.
This is getting out of hand. Yes, it is. And do they do damage when you hurt them? I think that they do have their blood spilled back in the...
Yeah, they volcanic blood or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. So we'll double check that as well. Obviously, we'll see that as things happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
We could probably actually jump to the
I think they're starting to...
They've just started to put some units down.
Yeah, cool. So we'll switch back. Thanks for bearing with us. You're welcome. We'll eat some cake later. So jumping back onto... We might have to do this next thing as well. All right.
Sorry, people. We just got muted, but we fixed it up. We're back.
We're back.
He's
We're in.
now put. So it looks like they have deployed.
Holy crap!
So basically, they've done the opposite in the look. So James has put all of his thirsters on our top left side, and basically Paddy has put all of his magma droths on our bottom right side. So Ooh, it's going to be rough there because I feel like the opposite sides of the tables are just going to get punished. Like the Magma Dross are going to come over. It looks like they just want to secure sort of one objective each at the moment.
That's an interesting tactic, like when you think about it. So we'll get an update on CPs as well.
Which one the player A and player B is, I suppose, as well, when whoever decides to take the turn.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll just put it as it is on the table as we can see it. So obviously Paddy's on the bottom of the board, so we'll make him player B, and we'll put James playing Khorne just as player A. We'll get a bit of an update in that regard. So
okay,
yeah.
so James gave the turn away. Paddy is taking the first turn, so we'll have to find out. Paddy should have a few CPs.
So we'll have one for the round. If we need to update that, we'll obviously do that as well. So
no worries. So he's also made the terrain piece deadly.
Excellent.
There as well. So just in front of him. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually forgot that the Fyreslayers could do that. So
I 100% did as well.
That is pretty unique. I like that.
Yeah, unfortunately in Toowoomba we don't really have many Fyreslayers players, but we do have a good friend of the podcast and Foul Charge member, Andrew, who does play Fyreslayers. As Gemma mentioned earlier, took out a tournament not too long ago, Bris Vegas Open, run by Dave Kerr, who was on earlier as well. So yeah, it's they're a tough army. They're crazy.
They are. After that book release, the Hearthguarder now, I think we might just get a lesson on how Magma Droths work. So at the moment, he has managed to get all of his prayers off as well.
Oh
so,
wow! Okay. So we're cooking with gas, guys.
We are cooking with gas. So all the Magma Droths are going to be buffed. All their prayers that have affected them have gotten off by the sounds.
Absolutely. And yeah, switching to chat, yeah, that's right. Since the new GHB battle line are able to cap in this scenario, so if you didn't know that, now you know.
Yeah, so it does make that decision hard because you sort of have to predetermine how you want to, who you want to cap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically.
That's an interesting.
Originally, you had no choice.
Yeah, that's right. If you didn't have many heroes, you were in a fair bit of trouble. So it makes it good for armies with low hero count to be able to do some extra tricks. Like Idoneth players is probably like a good example. Never generally like super hero heavy. Like it depends, yeah. Like lots of armies can be like you don't have to run a whole lot of heroes. It's good for potentially. The gentleman running the big Khorne dragon, like his battle line can cap, so that sort of helps him a fair bit as well. So
yeah, definitely. So Paddy has also used, like, because he got all of his prayers off the movement rune, he has used the movement rune. So he's basically moving everything up, but it didn't get empowered, so it's just the basic.
Very good. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for coming in, mate. Really appreciate your time. Good luck painting the Vanguard stuff, and if we don't chat to you before then, good luck at Sydney Sydney GT as well, man.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you next week, Sean. You have a good one. Thanks very much.
Take it easy, bud. See ya. But yeah, back in the game, we're shuffling over. We're doing a bit of a dance. So that's an interesting move by Paddy. So it might be potentially looking at holding and keeping his objective super safe, as well as potentially shooting off whatever decides to cap that objective. So unfortunately, if a hero takes it and dies, and there's no other hero there, like that could be a potential problem for the Khorne. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'm so keen.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to see especially how they've deployed.
It's an interesting deployment, and I think it's really, really cool. Like, I personally wouldn't have thought to do that, to be honest. So yeah, Paddy's just sort of moving some stuff around at the moment, and yeah.
So basically, 2 units of his Hearthguard do look very similar. So what he's done there is he's just turned one, and they have their back towards him, so he knows they know where one unit starts and one unit finishes.
Look, that's not
so if
a
you're
bad
wondering
idea.
why he was turning his bases around there, that is why. So it's just a
Makes it
little
nice
bit
and
easier
clear.
for everybody.
I think that's some good table etiquette there, to be honest. So
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see in our first game that we had 4 or 5 gentlemen agreements, and in this game,
just some good manners.
Just some good manners. So that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So it looks like we Paddy has finished his first turn. So he's basically secured the objective on our right-hand side. So all his magma drops are just like grouped together there. It's going to be pretty hard to get that one back, I feel. I wouldn't be running into that one anytime soon.
Look, I would not be keen, personally, but that's okay.
So it looks like James...
Yeah, it looks
so
like...
the Rune Father is holding that objective, so...
Very nice. So we'll go 1 point for the Fyreslayers.
James looks like he's moving up some of his Reavers. He looks like he could be trying to create like a chaff line, which is quite important if you do have some heroes that you feel like are going to be getting attacked.
Yeah, absolutely.
So creating some sort of chaff there to protect them is quite important.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting in that regard. So it looks like obviously James is trying to play more of a deny tactic, so trying to keep his stuff safe. Obviously his battle line will cap that this round, but it'll be interesting to see Paddy's follow-up in that regard, whether he'll sort of try and get rid of the Angry Bloodthirsters, or whether he'll potentially get rid of the scoring unit, because there's some options here.
There is a lot of options here, so I'm just going to try and draw on the screen. Let's see how I go. So just depending on who wins the next turn. So Paddy's got to, if he's one of his magma drops holding that objective, he's got the ability to be able to use those other ones there, obviously, because you only need one. So he can either go up and try and get to these guys and take them out. So basically this side of the table is gone, or he can start moving them over this way and trying to clear that off there as well. So he's got a decision there to make with those guys, because they're the ones that are going to be doing a lot of the work for him. So we'll see what he does next turn.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this priority roll will be pretty big. It'll be pretty interesting as well, just to sort of see what the priority targets will be, I think. So
yeah, definitely. So as we sort of suspected, James has sort of created like a chaff line. He's pushed his Bloodthirsters up just a little bit, protecting them as well. So in the next turn, it'll be interesting to see whether he gets super aggressive Khorne style and tries to do some killing with them. So he's got some decisions to make there as well. So whether or not he keeps that chaff and just moves it forward, or just hold that objective as long as possible and just see if he can force the Fyreslayers player to make some mistakes. I'll bring them out in the open so he can try and get the Bloodthirsters into combat and utilise the Always Strike first, and then the other Bloodthirsters following in suit, attacking afterwards. So we'll see what he does here. So it looks like he's playing quite defensively for a Khorne player. So we'll see if it pays off in the end. So it looks like a lot of these units are running as well. So he's just trying to get a bit of distance. So that looks like he just moved Scarbrand up there, and then he looks like he's going to move his last Bloodthirster. He's going to try and run him up. So they're all sort of together. So when you are running that battalion, it probably isn't a bad idea to run them together, because you want all of them to be in combat so you can utilise the battalion.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, obviously that's the whole point and how that list works.
Yes.
Using that battalion, but I guess it's funny because it's one of those scenarios where you kind of maybe potentially don't want your units in combat. Like, what do you do here? Like, there's a lot of decisions to make. I feel
there is a lot of decisions to make, and I don't think he should be rushing over to attack the magma blob, as I'm going to call it.
The magma blob.
Over on the right-hand side. It's very dangerous having them all together like that. And unless you're confident with trying to get the double turn or knowing you're going to put some damage out, I don't know whether you can put enough out, because there's a lot of wounds in those two groups.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, magma drop is 12 or 14 wounds from memory. So yeah.
They're pretty much on par.
There's a fair bit there, to be honest.
Yeah. So he looks like he's just moved his other unit in front of the altar there. So we'll see how this goes. So it won't be long, and they're going to be... so he's just scored that point there for that objective. They're just going to measure out, make sure... I think it's a 3-inch. You have to be within 3 inches. So they're just measuring out to see if anyone holds that. Yep. So unfortunately, the Khorne hasn't been able to move up far enough. Sorry, if I can speak English, and he hasn't been able to claim that objective. So he will not be scoring 1 point this turn. So that will probably cost him later on in the game because he's already going to be 1 point behind, especially with how these two armies have deployed and moved up onto the objectives. He's going to need to take the other one off him at some point or kill what's on that objective to be able to get that point. So we'll see what happens. All right, so we've just had a priority roll, everybody, and James won the priority roll and gave it away to Paddy, which I think is probably a good move, to be honest. So we'll see what Paddy does here. He's going to be doing his hero phase stuff, see what prayers and runes he can use, and what he's going to do with his magma blob over on the right-hand side. Yeah, Queensland Thunder. I am sorry to ask, but who is Mr. Queensland Thunder? And I think you're correct. Possibly a game changer there, not scoring in the first turn. So unfortunately, the Khorne player wasn't able to get far enough forward. He made a boo-boo.
Oh, that's right, because it's 3 inches.
So
yeah,
he
3
wasn't
inches,
able to
not
score
6.
the point there. So unfortunately, he's already behind 1 point. So I think that's going to cost him dearly, maybe later on in the game, because he's going to either have to kill the magma drops off that objective.
Yep.
Or the one magma drop that's holding that, sorry. Or and try and take it off him, or at least stop him from scoring it.
Yep.
So if we could have a CP check on the Fyreslayers to see if he's on 2 now or as well.
So you might hear a bit of chatting from our table boss and us, but yeah, like just getting some updates in that regard. So, because you know, like knowing what's going on is pretty big, I feel. So, and Queensland, Ben's from the Northern. Hey Ben, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in, my man.
Benny!
How's your Saturday going, mate? What are we working on?
Sparky Ben. So they've got 2 command points apiece at the moment.
Cool.
And we'll see how these guys use it. So, if you weren't here before, Josh, so James won the priority roll and gave it away to Paddy.
Oh, okay.
So, I was just saying it's probably not a bad move.
It's probably not a bad move, but at the same time, realistically, like Paddy could potentially just sit there, score his extra points, and be no worse off, really.
No, it's just he sort of looks like he's deciding what he wants his. He's putting an endless spell down.
Oh, so
oh,
he's...
not well. What do you call those?
A prayer.
A prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer down.
So that's an interesting move from Paddy. So that could be potentially like funneling stuff into more like funneling where his bloodthirsters can go, controlling the board a little bit. If anyone doesn't know, Paddy has been playing 40k for a super long time. Really good player, very switched on, knows what he's talking about, knows what's going on. So yeah, really good player in that regards. I can't say I really know much about James. I can't say I've seen him before, unfortunately, but no, it'd be really interesting to see how this game goes and see if he can make a bit of an impression. So.
Yeah, awesome. So James is part of a group down, probably up is the right term, at the sunny coast.
Oh, yep.
So he's travelled up from there. There's probably about a group of about 7, I think, that have come up from there. So those guys have really made an impact here this weekend with bringing such a large group, and we love that they are here.
To put in perspective as well, guys, the Sunshine Coast to here is probably a good 2 to 3 hour drive as well. So it's not close, and obviously really appreciate everyone making the trip to come hang out.
Yeah, so Paddy has got all his prayers off, I believe. But on another note, we have another exciting combat happening on another table. So we actually have a local Darcy. Yep. So he is playing some Iron Jaws, and we have the magical painter himself, Mr. James Lynch, playing his Khorne. Nice. So they have basically gone super aggressive. Just rushed into each other. Yep, met in the middle, just bashed each other. So they've basically both deleted most of each other's army at this stage.
Oh, Jesus.
And there's a Maw Crusher and a Bloodthirster battling it out at the moment. So the Maw Crusher has got 1 wound left.
Oh, wow.
And the Bloodthirster has 2 wounds left.
There you go.
So they are just scraping it through. So we'll see who wins that battle.
So
Hopefully we can get an update.
there is a duality of death at the
There
moment.
is a duality. They've basically done the same thing to each other. So
That's very cool. It's interesting. Yeah, like I'm really keen to see what Paddy sort of does here, and yeah, it'd be really, really cool to see what sort of happens in the Khorne turn. Yeah, it's really like it's real tense. Like you're kind of just waiting for stuff to happen at the moment, you know. So
definitely. So it looks like he's just reshuffled his Hearthguard up. So whether he's just getting them into range of shooting is what looks like it's sort of happening. And at the moment, the Magma Dross, we've entered the shooting phase. So the Magma Dross up in the top right, the Magma Blob, are shooting at the Reavers at the moment. So we'll see what damage can be done here. It looks like he's taken 2 away at the moment. So shooting has gone off with a little bit of a bang.
Yep.
Another one maybe gone. Whew.
God damn.
Just see you later.
God damn.
So it looks sort of before when I was explaining that he was maybe trying to eliminate those Reavers and then go to the left side of the table. Might be a possibility at this stage.
Potentially,
because
yep.
he looks like he's just shooting those Reavers off. So
Well, I guess it sort of like potentially opens up a bit of space for him as well. There's not a huge amount of targets on that side, so you might as well not waste your shooting and just sort of, if you can eliminate it. But then again, that's a free blood type point, so that could be potentially could be some problematic for the Fyreslayers later on down the track potentially. So. But yeah, it looks like a bit more shooting happening. I don't think the range on the Hearthguard are super great as well.
So basically, obviously you can see that those Reavers are dead, so they've just been shot off by the Magma Dross. But I have got a Gotrek story. Does anyone else want to hear a Gotrek story?
I'm ready.
I have one.
Tell me.
So, Mr. Matt Murdoch, the Daredevil himself, is playing Josh Bonza with some Skaven. And Gotrek has decided to go over and punch on with a unit of 9 Storm Fiends.
Oh, Jesus.
So, I wonder... So, they're going to have... I think the combat Storm Fiends now have 6 or 7 wounds each?
I think it depends on what they're armed with.
Yeah, so at least 6 or 7 wounds each, and Gotrek's just thirsty. He's going over there to get some rat blood.
He's ready.
He's ready. He's going to put some more paint on. He's going to go over there.
Absolutely.
And just
yeah, he's ready. Well, he's got a bit of a
swing
history
those
with Skaven, so yeah, I can understand that. Jumping over to the chat, LLV, hello mate, how are you?
Hello.
Thanks for jumping on. How are you today? Are you doing any hobby? Are you just crunching numbers? Are you surrounded by calculators and computer screens? I'm truly interested.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we are trying our best with our showing, so we're just sort of kicked off and it's going smoothly at the moment, so touch wood it can stay that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got pretty much 47-ish players at the moment. 46 or 47 from memory. So we've got a good amount of people here at the moment. We've got a fairly large hall where we're at the moment. If you jump on my Twitter, I've chucked on a picture of the hall and sort of a little bit of our setup as well. I'll put on updates as well as Gemma throughout the day, so just to keep an eye on what's happening, when we'll be on and off the stream as well. So by all means, it's probably a good way to keep in touch too. So.
Alright, so basically we've changed turns, so it's now James with the Khorne's turn, so he's gone up to 3 CP at the moment as well. So let's see if he can use a couple of them this turn if he's going to get angry.
Absolutely, and obviously because Paddy has still retained that objective, he will score 2 points in this turn. So.
Yep. So something, James is going to have to try and do something this turn.
Yep.
To either equal in points or try and take them back, but it's going to be real difficult with all those magma blobs. The magma blob.
The magma blob. Yeah, I definitely feel like someone needs to show their hand soon or make some moves, because otherwise Paddy's going to run away with it and he's not going to have anything happening basically. So jumping back on the chat real quick, yes, your reputation does precede yourself, LLV. We're using Down Under pairings actually. So If you want to have a look at the lists or the leaderboard or anything like that, table down under pairings, you can access all that. It's similar to Tabletop TO in regards to you can have a look at lists, matchups, all the info's there. But yeah, man, absolutely. Awesome weekend so far. And yeah, we've been keeping an eye on the Bendigo Bush Bash as well, so good to see some hammers all around. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yes, so it's hectic at the moment in Australia for AOS tournaments. We've got them coming out everywhere. So there's big Sydney GT next weekend, then we've got Runax only a couple of weeks after that.
Yep.
And then CanCon not far after that. Like, it's just going so fast.
Yeah, leaps and bounds. For anyone who doesn't know, the Heralds of War were able to sell out 240 tickets in less than 12 hours the other week. So yeah, Aussie AOS is kicking ass at the moment.
Yeah, it is. So as we can see, James, it looks like he's running up a unit. Has he got some hounds or?
He does have some hounds. Yep.
So he's just moving those guys up. He's moved the other unit of Reavers sort of around near that prayer, that sort of center table.
Absolutely.
At the moment. So it looks like he's looking to open himself up a little bit. Maybe getting ready for those Bloodthirsters to come out soon and do some work. He's captured the objective with a battle line unit as well with those other hounds. So he moved them there instead. It looked like he was going to move them forward, but he's actually moved them onto the objective there. So they'll be able to cap that this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Just jumping back in the chat, LLV, if you get in touch with Dan at AOS Shorts, he has a full email of all the lists. Alternatively, if you can DM Gemma or myself, with a suitable email address, we can get you some info as well, mate. So get in touch and we'll get that info to you. We have the resources. But yeah, man. Oh, that sucks. It's a shame you can't make CanCon, but hey, I don't think it's going anywhere. So next year. I'm not sure if I can make it this year. I think, Gemma, you're all organised, aren't you, for CanCon this year?
What was that, sorry, Josh?
You're all organised for CanCon this year?
Oh, yeah, certainly am. So I booked the room about 6 months ago, trying to be organised, and we're just getting some people together now to share the room with, so it's always nice to have some friends in there as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing having another 200 players again.
Yep.
And then
240, isn't it?
240, and then having Rob come over, hopefully, will be amazing as
Absolutely.
well. So we always seem to have a nice time there. It's just a good community.
Absolutely. But guys, let us know who's in the Twitch chat. Let us know who you are, where you're from, what you're working on. Let us know who you think. Who do you think is going to take this match? I think it's maybe potentially a little bit early to tell, but we'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. As always, guys, if you know someone who would enjoy the stream, I'd love it for you to share the link, get it out there. We'd love to share this amazing weekend of AOS. Probably one of the biggest tournaments in Toowoomba ever as well. So it'd be good to get Toowoomba on the map as well. So hello, double times 2 dealer. Thanks for coming. I probably agree, Mr. Budgetman. I think that Fyreslayers are in a good position at the moment.
Good position, yeah, definitely. And LLV, shoot me a message on Twitter and I'll definitely organise that for you. So back to, there's a Skaven and Feck battle going on as well, and the Feck list was the same one I talked about in the last sort of scenario. Was the 5 Terrorgeist, I'm pretty sure, list.
So James Sharman from Brisbane.
Yep, and he's versing a gentleman called Corey with some Skaven, and he has managed to shoot off 2 Terrorgeist in 1 round of shooting with the Globideers or Acolytes they're now called.
Yeah, Acolytes, yeah. That's, I believe Corey has taken a good lot of inspiration from Dan Brewer. I believe Dan Brewer took pretty much the same list to SAGT from memory.
Yeah. I think he just had a Doom Wheel in there instead.
Yeah, because I remember he was talking to, I think it was Chris and James from Mortally Wounded about if he wanted to make it more angry, he would drop the Doom Wheel and just put in 10 more Acolytes. And obviously that's what Corey's done.
And it's been doing really, really well.
Yeah, Corey's done well. I think he's won Brishammer from memory from it. He's been doing really well with it. Obviously a really switched on player. So it'll be interesting to see how these poor little Terrorgeists, if they can survive, or whether the bites and all the damage can be too much for the Skaven. So yeah, super interesting to see. We'll keep you up to date.
All right. So James with the Khorne here has tried to do what Khorne does and get aggressive, but unfortunately he is failing his re-rollable charges with the Bloodthirsters.
Oh no.
So they are not feeling the anger.
God damn.
And he's managed to maintain the prayer for another turn as well.
Yep. Good to see.
So we had a priority roll there, so Paddy has just won the priority as well, so I think he's just determining whether he's going to take it or not.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dodgy. So 5 out of 6. So yeah, impressive showing from Mr. Corey. Who are you, Dodgy? Where are you from? Who are you? What are you working on? And double times 2 dealer, let us know who you are, where you're from. Always really good to put some usernames to some faces. Always good to...
Dodgy76.
Dodgy76. There's some great usernames, I would have to say. I love it, absolutely.
And where is Dodgy76 from? I haven't recognised the name, sorry. And
Queensland Thunder, let us know who you are as well. Would love to know who these people are. Double times 2 dealer, that's completely fine. No dramas at all. If you'd like to keep your anonymity, that is your prerogative, no problems. But yeah, Queensland Thunder, I agree. There's a lot of Hearthguard who are very good at shooting monsters who are just chilling at the moment there. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if what happens there, I think. So
I think Paddy is just sort of determining which prayers he wants to use this turn. So there's a lot of thought going into this turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big turn, I believe. So those Bloodthirsters are still a threat, just because he has those hounds holding that objective there. So they're still free to do a lot of work if they need to.
Absolutely.
It's just a shame they failed all their charges.
Yeah, that hurts when you Khorne. Absolutely. Oh, made a little bit of a mistake in there. So scoring 1.
So the Magma Blob. So they've managed to get their pair off for the saves, so they'll all be on 2-ups.
2-ups, good.
At the moment.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I don't know whether you'd want to go hard in there and attack them.
Yeah,
unless you've got some good rend. A 2-up save is quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you drag in them closer to... he's got rid of the prayers. He's bringing them in on this side. I think Paddy's doing a really good job of... sort of wasting the Bloodthirsters' time, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Because they're the ones that are going to be doing a lot of the work. He's recognised that, and he knows what they can do. Like, I'm sure he'd know that there's the Aura Strike first, and then the Tyrants, so they're all going to be able to pile in and attack. So he's just trying to slow that down as much as possible. And if you can do that and keep holding your objective and knowing that you're already 1 point ahead, is definitely an advantage.
That's what I mean. I think, like Queensland Thunder mentioned earlier, not scoring that first turn was not great for him because now he's playing back 1. Because realistically, if Paddy's smart, all he has to do is kill the unit that is capping that objective with whatever means he can, and then his scoring gets reset. If he's still scoring with his Magma Drop for another turn and a bit, like, he's auto-won that game. So
yeah, definitely. So it looks like he's actually bringing a couple of the droths themselves. The blob is being broken.
The blob is moving.
He's bringing them across. So he's staying 3 inches away from that unit there as well. So he's got a few units he can charge. He's got to make a few decisions there. So he's bringing 3-4 over.
Okay, interesting. Jumping back in the chat, Dave Lancaster. Hey mate, how you doing? Yeah, definitely remember you. Thanks for it's no dramas, mate. We're glad you're enjoying the stream. Glad you're enjoying that. But yeah, man, shame you couldn't make it up, but I'm sure we'll catch up with you soon, no doubt. I guess it's like anything, unfortunately. Queensland Thunder drops do fold just like most armies do. But yeah, if there's not a huge amount of mortal wound output, it can definitely hurt, that's for sure. But we'll see how things go. Be interesting to see. But yeah, super keen to see. I think Paddy's in a good position though. So
Paddy's in a really good position. It looks like what he's doing here is I think he's going to moving the Hearthguard, and then I think he's going to be using the Endless Prayers to try and use them as blockers.
Yes.
So the Bloodthirsters can't come down and wreck those Hearthguards.
Yeah, or even just sort of break them up in a position where not all 4 can get into combat. So then all of these triggered abilities happen. Then like, if only one can fight, that's better than 4. So
Definitely.
because Paddy is a bit of a Duality fanatic as well. Used to play Caradron Overlords as well, and had a great tactic of using his big boats and pushing them as far forward as possible and taking up as much board space as possible, keeping his soft and squishy battle line centre, his Archanaut company safe behind everything like that. So, but yeah, LLV, completely agree. Once they've taken up some board presence and a good pilot, they're a tough army, a real tough army.
Yeah, dwarves just tough little bastards, I have to say.
They are
short-legged bastards.
They are. But I'm really impressed with this list. It's I think Paddy's piloting it really well. I think he's doing well. But yeah, it's been really good so far. Looking at the other tables, just from where I can see, it looks like we've got some Stormcast versus some Death. We've got Iron Jaws versus some Nurgle. We've got Khorne versus some Slanesh, so very thematic there as well. Looks like we've got lots of stuff. We've got Bone Splitters versus Sylvaneth. We've got Flesh Eater Courts versus Gits. Yeah, there's a lot of variety here this weekend, which is fantastic. So
I've just been told that we have got Clint playing instead of Cliff because he's basically just left a Marathi size gap behind Manfred.
Oh no!
So he's just going to get Manfred's just about to go on the dead pile, I feel. So I don't know where Cliff went. We have Clint this weekend. So luckily he's a good-looking man because he's unable to win a game at this stage.
Yeah, so Cliff's twin, Clint, is here this weekend.
He's
so,
snuck in.
Good to see,
He's given Cliff the old roofie somewhere. He's passed out and he's just jumped on.
I think he's at home painting CanCon terrain, to be honest.
Terrain. He's working, he's slaving away.
Yeah, he's in the sweatshop, and that's what he's doing at the moment, so... jumping into chat, Archimander, just want to say you're all awesome, amazing, wonderful people. Thank you, Ark.
Thank you so much.
You are a beautiful person as well. If you're saying nice compliments like that, you have to be a nice person too, I would imagine. So thanks, man. Who are you? If you're happy to tell us, love to know who you are, where you're from. We might know you guys in person or might not, because there has been a lot of interesting usernames which are people we know, but we don't actually know, unfortunately. LLV. Cliff is here currently. I think he's darting in and out. He's actually wearing a big Manfred-sized cape, and he has an Abyssal Terror that he's sort of darting in and out of the area of. So
I've just been told, this is a shout out to Ham on the chat. Tyler just wants you to know that he has drank 1 2 litre of iced coffee and he does have another one sitting in the car ready to go. So
it's a hot day. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Oh, 2 litres. He has drank 2 litres of iced coffee and he has another one in the car. Oh my God.
That's a lot of dairy.
That's 4 litres. I hope he's not lactose intolerant because we're sitting actually behind him and that is a bad position to be in.
I think we're sort of upwind, which is nice. So LLV, yes, Clint and Cliff, the brothers, unfortunately do pick the worst accommodation in the world, so I can attribute to that. I have stayed with Clint and Cliff, and he definitely sucks at life when it comes to picking accommodation. Queensland Thunder, speaking of roofies and sleeping, how's Adam from the Northman going? We'll have to check in with Adam. Not sure where he's at currently, but we'll check in with him and see if we can get some updates.
Yeah, we'll try and get some updates for Adam from Cairns, if you like. People are asking how Adam is going, so we'll have to check out that.
Absolutely.
And I think at the moment, Bloodthirsters are being shot by a Magma Dross.
I think, I think the Fyreslayers are definitely pulling these guys apart.
Yeah, so unfortunately we've been a little bit behind with the information there due to my part, I'm sorry. So one Thirst is already off the table from shooting and the other ones are being shot at as well. So it's looking like the Fyreslayers has the... I can't... Fyreslayers.
Fyreslayers?
Yeah.
The fires have lasers? Is this what's happening?
That's what it looks like because they've just lasered off one Thirster and it looks like he's making a lot of saves for another one.
The Auric Half-Guard laser.
The lasers. Oh no, it looks like another Thirster is down.
Oh damn.
Woo!
Taking names. I think we're going to have to call Paddy the...
Unfettered Fury Thirster has gone. So at this stage, poor old James has got a big job in front of him to try and pull this back at the moment.
I agree. I definitely agree. So that's interesting. So
it is interesting, actually. I was keen to see some Thirsters to get in there and do some damage, but it looks like
it's going to be a quick game.
It might be over very quickly, unfortunately. I hope for James' sake he can do some tricks and take a couple of those magma drops off while he goes down.
Oh, so he's making some charges here, guys. So, this is interesting. Well, Scarbrand, you can probably see, is just sort of hanging out sort of in this general area here. So it'd be interesting to see, like, all you need to do is get Scarbrand into the action and he can one-shot a magma drop fairly easily, I reckon. So
LLV, yes. I agree. If I'm going to judge it on the past KeenCon accommodations that he's chosen,
yeah, I was commenting on that before.
Sorry, yeah, they're pretty rubbish. I've been watching the game, sorry, so my comments have been a bit bad. I haven't been keeping up with the comments.
But yes, Gemma and I can attest to Cliff's terrible ability of picking accommodations. So, but he does make it up in his amazing and impeccable tournament organising skills and being the most organised man in the world and having probably 10 tons of terrain in his house.
Yep.
Back to chat. I think I might take a nap, but I'll have the stream on and let Joshy's soothing voice take me to sleep. Thank you, ×2 dealer. I don't actually know how to pronounce your username properly, so if I'm doing that wrong, my apologies. But yeah, I'm glad that my smooth, sultry tones can put you to sleep. But thanks, man. Thanks for staying on the stream. Thanks for chucking in some comments, having a bit of a chat with us as well. Hopefully, we'll catch you a bit later.
Rightio. So that magma droth, so in the centre here, that's up against the Bloodthirster. That's the always strike first Bloodthirster.
Oh.
So he was able to attack first, but unfortunately, due to the magma droth save, at the moment being a 2+, and the rend that he has obviously wasn't quite enough.
Ooh.
He's only done 1 wound
Oh
to the
no!
magma droth. So
oh no! That's not good.
that is not a good.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So how many wounds the old Bloodthirster takes back, if he takes any. So we'll see what we can ascertain from these rolls.
Yeah, 2 drops. 2 drops is not a good time for.
No, it looks like he's had to make about 5 save rolls.
Well, they do have multiple profiles, so it'll be interesting to see sort of how that goes, because it's not just 1, it's 2.
It is 2, and he looks like he's put wound counter on there, but it also looks like he had to add a second one on. So that would be over 10. Oh, actually, 6, yeah, sorry, over 6 wounds if he's using a D6. Because it doesn't look like he's using wound counters on there. So.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Jumping back into chat, LLV asked Cliff about the hotel room he picked for him and me after Bobo in the Runford Inn or Murder Hostel. Oh, jeez. I'll definitely chase him up about that when I get a chance, LLV. And Ham, Corey's very good. Yes, he is definitely a excellent player. Representing Simple Math Club, I believe the name of the club is called. So, which is cool. Good to see, some good showings out there. As I sort of mentioned earlier, we've got a good showing of clubs here this weekend. We've got the Hammer Hub, Heralds of War, League of Gamers Ipswich, the Mango Mafia, Savage Northman, Simple Math Club, as we just mentioned, Team Pat, so Pat, who was on the stream, the Failed Charge, the Silver Horde, and Briz Hammer. So, really good amount of Queensland teams who are here representing. Jumping back into chat, knew it was classy when the pub over the road was advertising hot food, served it out of a van in a parking lot. Okay, so. Sounds like LLV has had some traumatic PTSD kind of moments hanging out with Cliff and Clint, but that's what happens sometimes. So,
Rightio. Well, I have some table information. So down on table 24, we had a Mangler Squig go into Neferata, and he one-shotted Neferata off the table.
Oof.
And I think it was sort of in the same turn, another Mangler Squig killed a unit of 10. I think they were Black Knights. Off the top of my head, I wasn't fast enough to write that down. We also have that, if I mentioned before, Gotrek going into a unit of 9 Storm Fiends. So he wanted some rat blood. Unfortunately for him, he has taken 6 wounds from shooting
Holy shit.
from the Storm Fiends. So I don't think he's only got 1 wound left. I don't think he'll be
Doing too much
doing
more,
too well.
potentially.
Yep, LLB, we have another Thirster down. So that first so there was 2 Magma Droths that charged that Always Strike first Thirster. The first Magma Droth did 13 wounds, and the second one finished him off.
Jeez Louise.
So he's only got Scarbrands and probably 5 hounds, and maybe
Yeah, there's not much.
There's not much left.
There is not much, unfortunately. So
those Magma Droths are just pretty savage. I think he just, he unfortunately not scoring in that first turn, and then being outplayed by some Magma Droths is just.
Yeah, as
and
we
failing his charges hasn't helped either.
Yeah, I think as we mentioned as well, sort of getting sort of blocked up in terrain, Paddy sort of, potentially like laying a bit of bait with his Auric Hearthguard, drawing them out to put them in a position and sort of getting flanked by the Magma Droths. Whether that was intentional, I would say probably. I'd say that, Paddy's had obviously like a nicely laid out plan that he's been able to execute really, really well. So
yeah, I've played Paddy in the past. He was playing KO at that stage. I was playing Feck, and unfortunately my Feck didn't like being shot because his KO army was just 99% from shooting army. So he's already has experience with dwarves, and he basically knows how to use them. He knows how he can and can't use them with their restrictions to movement, and how positioning. He was a 40k player for a very long time.
Yeah, mentioned that before.
So he definitely knows how the game works.
Absolutely.
Strategic wise.
Yeah, really, really good player. So target priority, obviously, 40k, different game, but target priority, positioning, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, lots of experience there, which is a big part of AOS. Movement is a big part of this game. So
yeah, definitely, and being able to utilise those endless prayers as just bases to block is quite important as well. So if you can just prevent enemy units coming towards you just with blocking them out is quite important as well.
It's
so
huge.
you're
Absolutely
just
huge.
denying them.
Yeah, well, essentially you're dictating how the play goes. You're dictating where your opponent can move.
Yep.
Obviously, you can position yourself so that positioning benefits you more than the other person. So yeah, lots of forward thought. Lots of clever tactics that you can sort of do in this game for sure.
Definitely, and it makes it a lot harder for obviously your opponent, which is what you're trying to do, and they sort of tend to make a few more mistakes then. So not only are you forcing them in like certain ways they can move, it's also making it a lot harder for them to decide and probably making a few more mistakes as well.
Yeah, so Paddy would have scored 3 in that round, so bumping him up to 6 points, sorry. So yeah, looks like Paddy's running away with this one at the moment, but you never know. Scarbrand could get super angry. He hasn't been in combat that last round.
Oh, he hasn't been in combat at all, so he's pretty feisty at the moment. So I have seen Scarbrand do a lot of damage in a couple of other games. So we'll see if he can pull this back a little bit.
Absolutely.
I'll be very surprised if he could win the game.
He should have enough blood type that he could potentially do some extra attacks, some other bits and pieces. So yeah, we'll see how much damage Scarbrand has.
Actually, we should probably see how many blood tithe points the Khorne player has. Because if he does get to 8, the magical number, he might be able to bring on another bloodthirster.
Well, he's putting up some bits and bobs at them, some 9-inch rulers now, so that could be potentially what's happening right now. So
yeah, so we'll have to see what he's bringing on. So are they little bloodletters coming out there, or what?
Is it a thirster? I think that's the interesting thing about summoning. You kind of have the ability to potentially do lots of options. So
lots of options, especially if you play Slash. You better bring about. You
Another
got
army.
your 2,000 points that you're playing on the table, then you probably need about 6,000 points in a box next to you because the amount of depravity points you can get.
Yeah, bring another 2 armies. That sounds
just bring
great.
another 2 armies, mate. So I'm surprised there's a lot of people that are travelling with them because you have to take so much with you.
True. I can't say I enjoy travelling with big armies, so yeah, smaller the better.
Yeah, smaller the better. And that's one thing that I love. I love helping out at CanCon, and it's just it is a little bit of relief to me knowing that I don't have to pack an army and take it down to Sydney. Oh, yeah. Oh, Canberra, idiot.
Canberra. Yeah.
I don't know why I said Sydney.
Jumping into chat, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Artmanmigo84. How you doing? Thanks for jumping in. If you're comfortable telling us who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, that'd be always appreciated. Anybody else who hasn't said hello, who's in the chat, let us know who you are, what's going on, what's cracking this Friday or Saturday. We love to know who's hanging out with us, basically. Like to chat with our chat, throw some smack, and just have a sweet time, you know?
So it looks like up in the corner there he has basically summoned on 10 bloodletters. So if I can draw on here somewhere like in this vicinity. Oh, look at that, I can draw. We have managed to get the 10 bloodletters on there, and we'll see what happens, see what his plan is. So I'm not sure whether he's planning on trying to go for the dub here and bring them down to the objective, try and outnumber it since they're a battle line unit and take that off. But he's got to be careful because I'm not sure how much damage this fella here can do. Oh, you can't outnumber, sorry, you actually have to kill him off. So we'll see whether those guys can do that.
Well, that's the thing. Potentially, like if he rolls super hot and gets the double, that could be a fair bit of points hanging out there. So we'll see what happens.
See what happens. I'm not sure whether bloodletters are going to be able to do the damage that they need to take that fella off.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm keen to see how he's going to do it.
You never know. If he rolls enough sixes, like that could be a thing. So
yeah, well, mortal wounds are a bitch, so we'll see what happens here.
Mortal wounds are a bitch. Jumping back into the chat, doing well. I'm here painting my Astra Militarum army. Awesome. What are you doing? Some Lehman Russes, some Guardsmen, some... What are we doing? Tell us more.
Yeah, so it looks like Scarbrand has basically taken a Magma Drop off by the looks of that. Did he just get excited and just mortal wound him off the table? Just the rage happening? Or?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So so he's taken off a Droth.
Yeah, he's taken off a Droth.
Oh Jesus!
So Scarbrand looked like he charged that Droth and has taken it off the table. So we'll have to find out whether it was just the mortal wounds.
Yeah, we'll get some more info there as well. Jumping back in the chat, Wolf Crispies. Hello, Wolf Crispies. How are you? Excellent name, by the way. Wolf Crispies is painting their Underworld figures, looking for some Underworld strats. Any advice? To be honest with you, Wolf Crispies, we unfortunately haven't delved deep at all in regards to Underworlds. But I would imagine if it was me, I'd probably be looking at Facebook groups, looking at chatting with like prominent players in your scene, having a chat with them, understand how they sort of construct decks and strats. That's what I do with Warhammer. Just chat with people who are doing well, people who understand the game better than me, and probably just potentially, just research, man. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like back on the game, obviously the drop's coming back to strike. It looks like it's done some damage. It'll be interesting to see how much damage it's done. So it's 2 dice, so it's more than 6. So that's half a Scarbrand gone.
Yeah, unfortunately. But the angrier the more hurt he gets, the angrier he gets.
This is true.
So we'll see whether next turn if he wins priority, or if Paddy gets it, he's just probably going to finish him off. So it's going to be quick. So we'll see what happens here. I am just excited that Scarbrand could manage to take down one magma drop though.
That's
so
great.
That means there's only 4 left.
The magma blob is dwindling.
The magma blob is broken up and... One down, boys, one down.
1 down, 4 to go.
So Paddy has a very unique way of rolling dice. He just like stands back and throws it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fling, which is nice.
It's a fling. And that fling was the priority roll. And he must have the technique down pat because Paddy has won the priority and he's decided to take it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's a strong move there. He's in a very good position.
Absolutely.
To be able to take that.
So doing some updates on our end.
Yeah, so he'll get 4 command points because I don't think Paddy's actually spent any command points at the moment. So yeah, 4. I wish I could have that many when I was playing Feck all the time. He hasn't done anything with them.
Shut up, Gemma. No one wants to know about your disgusting flesh eater cords, to be honest. So. But yeah, guys, looking at the rest of the tables, we've got about an hour and a half left in the round. Probably won't need an hour and a half for this round, unfortunately, but looking around at the other tables, it looks like Corey and Jimmy, or James Sharman, have finished up their rounds. Not sure who the victor was in that instance, but yeah, they're all done. Looking around the table as well, looks like Cliff and his opponent are sort of getting closer to the end of their game as well. But
Dennis looks like he's finished his game because he's sitting down watching Jeremy O'Kell.
I think they're playing. I'm pretty
they're
sure.
playing, are they? Oh, it's just because he was sitting down off to the side. I thought he was watching the game. Sorry. Tricky.
Jumping back into chat, well-painted Cadian soldiers finished building a Valkyrie. Yeah, cool, man. Awesome. Well, as always, as we've been saying, everyone, if you want to at us what you've been working on, more than happy. Love to see what people are working on. So it's Joshua Ma, followed by an underscore, and Gemma is at failed charge. So yeah, let us know. Show us what you're doing. Happy to retweet, show some stuff, get into the world. It's always exciting. Yeah, doing some cool hobby and
we'll
sharing
have to find out if Paddy got his prayers off that turn in his hero phase. Table boss is currently.
Well, potentially he might not. Potentially he might not want to do that because we've got the Auric Rune Smiter on Magmadroth has got Molten Infusion, so his prayers stay if that happens, so he doesn't have to see if they hang around. So a little bit of
as in the prayers, the separate prayers on the basis, or the actual.
Yeah, so his Molten Infusion is a prayer, which is on the Rune Smiter of Magmadroth, and then that results in prayer staying on the board. So no
that's
need.
Awesome.
Yeah, really, really good. So
really good.
Especially
so
if you got
he obviously knew he could use them as pieces to block.
Yeah, absolutely.
Block stuff, which is quite a good strat.
Absolutely.
Also, I wonder if he's used any runes, whether he's picked any runes. Like for the saves or anything like that, so I'll have to find out if his Rune Lords have used anything.
But it looks like, yeah, it's really, really interesting to see how this has sort of happened. But yeah, guys, obviously Paddy's moved over one of his drafts just to push it over to deal with these bloodletters. I don't think that Paddy can lose from here, but yeah, we'll see how things go anyway. So it looks like he's doing some shooting and he's taken off 6, I believe, 6
Yeah,
blood
so
letters.
it looks like he's definitely shot. We're just wondering whether he placed any runes, whether he used any runes this turn for better saves or re-rolls or anything like that.
But yeah, like that's obviously those blood letters are now affected by battle shock. There's no heroes nearby. I can't remember if the throne gives you any sort of immunity to battle shock or any buffs in that regards, but
no, I don't think so. It's just re-rolling prayers and stuff.
Yeah, so if James rolls poorly, those
summoning.
They could be running away, which could be not great.
Yeah, so basically the rune that he chose to use was your neck one, like an extra rend.
Oh, extra rend. Yeah, gotcha. So obviously wanting to deal with Scarbrand, obviously wanting to just clean up a bit more of this board as well.
He has. He's taken 12 wounds, Scarbrand, so he's pretty freaking angry, but he might be gone by the time he is able to attack.
Potentially, yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. So
incandescent, I think is the term.
Incandescent.
Incandescent.
That's a beautiful word. Not
it
gonna
is.
lie.
It is. I don't know whether I find it hard to say that word when I'm talking about Khorne, because when I say incandescent, it reminds me of the vampires that are bloody. You know, the ones that twinkle, Twilight.
Oh, Twilight.
And then I just
Edward's Cullen.
Yeah, and then I think
incandescent.
it's Scarbrand is the angriest bloody.
I'm pretty sure those mean completely different things, but yeah, that's fine. Incandescent and incessant. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stop.
I just see that and I'm like, I just think of twinkling lights.
Yeah, absolutely. Jumping back into chat, LLV, anyone over there outside the coach, of course, excited for the new books tomorrow. So it is actually Saturday here, LLV, so books are out today because we are a day ahead. Yes, absolutely. I have Mick from the Failed Charge, as well as myself, have some pretty large Empire armies, as well as lots of order units in general, which fall into the cities book. So yeah, we're both pretty pumped. I mentioned earlier that I'm actually quite scared of reading it because I really am worried about how much money I'm going to spend on this stupid book. But we'll see what happens.
The book and all the bits that you want to buy from the book.
I've got heaps of Phoenix Guard, heaps of Empire/Free People, so it's just like, oh god, prepare the wallet. So
saving. Might have to go get a loan.
Absolutely.
So Scarbrand went down too, if anyone's missed that.
Oh jeez.
So he is no longer on the table, unfortunately. He's no longer with us, and it looks like he's only got about 2 hounds left, maybe 3, and 3 bloodletters. So
Yeah, Khorne's...
unfortunately for James, I just don't think he can hold it for much longer.
Yeah, unfortunately, but that's okay. Jumping back into the chat, Kelsicle, welcome back. Thanks for coming in. What's been doing? Where have you been?
Okay.
Where did you go?
So, sorry to interrupt.
No,
I'm
go
just
for
going to
it.
interrupt you right here because
I'm
I have
ready.
the most exciting news
I'm
to tell
ready.
you. So before, when I said that Gotrek took 6 wounds from shooting from those Storm Fiends, he deleted the unit. Gotrek deleted the unit of Storm Fiends.
Killed all the Storm
He
Fiends?
kills all the Storm
Holy
Fiends.
shit.
So I'm guessing he did his activation,
Yes.
killed a lot,
Yes.
then was able to activate again because if there's an enemy unit within 3 inches, he can activate again,
jeez.
and then finish them off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So-
Wow.
That is
Unreal.
That's a lot of wounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Jumping back into the chat, LLV, thoughts on Executioners? For me, I think that Great Swords are probably going to take the position of Executioners. Like, obviously, depending on what Free City you want to do and what generals you want to take. But 2 attacks, good range, 6s click off the mortal wounds as well as all the buffs that you can sort of get from free people and everything like that as well. I kind of feel like Great Swords are probably going to take their place, but we'll see what happens. Kelsicle, boyfriend duties kicked in, unfortunately, but back for the rest of the match, I hope. Kelsicle, I'm not sure how much longer this match is going to be for, unfortunately. It's a super strong showing from the Fyreslayers, generaled by Mr. Paddy himself. Unfortunately, James has sort of been on the back foot sort of since turn 1, unfortunately.
Since turn 1, yeah. Since he was unfortunately, he couldn't score that point in the first turn and then he failed a lot of charges, it just sort of was a downhill slope from there.
Yeah, so a bit of an update, as you can sort of see in the score has reflected that. Unfortunately, James wasn't able to cap turn 1. Obviously, with Duality of Death being a 3-inch to cap those objectives, whether that was an oversight, he wasn't able to sort of get close enough, unfortunately. And Paddy was able to put his magma blob, which we were calling the 5 magma drops on one objective, and then he just slowly picked the army apart, singling out bloodthirsters and just doing a great job of it. How are the other matches going? Any standouts? Gotrek, we just mentioned that Gotrek deleted a unit of 9 Storm Fiends in 2 rounds of combat, which is insane. We've also, just having a look at a few things, it looks like, I think Skaven were able to look after Gristlegore Flesh Eater Courts.
We've also had Volgoroth kill, 36 clan rats in the first game.
47.
Sorry, 47 clan rats in the first game, and then get taken off himself in a round of shooting by some acolytes. I think they did 36 wounds back to him in the next shooting, so that was pretty exciting.
Pretty scary, to be honest.
This is actually game 2 for us over here, and just an update on the game in front of us that we're watching. That little unit of hounds that the Khorne gentleman James had holding that objective were actually deleted after they were charged by 2 magma drops, so there is no Khorne units able to hold that objective anymore.
Yeah, so
the
Paddy
Fyreslayers
will
get
5.
that. And over on the top of the screen, the 3 bloodletters are in combat with that other magma drop over
So
there.
potentially gone shortly as well.
Yeah.
Jumping back into the chat, Stratty, one of the tournament organisers of Brishammer that we were talking about earlier in the stream in Game 1. G'day Stratty, how are you? Thanks for the kind words in regards to the stream. Glad to have you here. It's been really good so far. Everything's been running super smooth. Haven't had any real issues. Probably the only issue would be that it's a bit warm. It's slowly warming up in sunny Toowoomba.
Yeah.
So
yep, we've heard that it is disgusting outside. No one wants to go out there. We're all staying inside. So we'll see. If we have to venture out later, I'm going to be just dosing myself with water, I think.
Yeah, potential some showers all round. Sorry, I'm so bad at pronouncing this. Artman Migo, 84. Fyreslayers seem to be in a very convincing position at the moment. Looking like Khorne, unfortunately not in a position to sort of take it back at the moment. So
he's got his summoned unit of bloodletters that have just been taken off the table. So unfortunately, that would be game. So that is all there is to that game, unfortunately. The Fyreslayers are not tabling the Khorne in turn 3. So he would score both objectives. So he'd get 4 for the one has held from the start, and 1 from the one he just took over.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get them on and have a quick chat with them as well. But the handshake has been done. Absolutely great game of Warhammer as well. So we'll flick back over and yeah, we'll have a chat with the players now. Shooting back to the chat, Stratty, we will do our best to keep hydrated. We'll do our best. Yeah, so we're just getting Paddy organised now. We'll just swap over to the face cam. Paddy.
Yes.
How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Yourself?
Really well. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we were just sort of talking about how we called it the Magma Blob.
Yes, yeah. It's like a dwarf cavalry charge. There's five drops to go straight in. That's the whole idea. Yeah.
So we thought it was really cool how you were using terrain and the spells to sort of like isolate, so he couldn't make the most of his...
That's right, yeah. Well, that's why I used the Infernoff instead of the Flame Splitter, for that reason. Because it's just...
big base.
Yeah, good to block people out. So
yeah, awesome, man. Yeah. What was your highlight of the game, you feel?
I'm not gonna lie. Killing 3 bloodthirsters anyway, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
We were talking in chat just in regards to how we're just like bloodthirster down, another bloodthirster down, bloodthirster down. Yeah. We just sort of got some interesting people as well. Wes is saying Paddy in caps. A must be the Brise is pretty happy as well. Ham is saying told you dwarf players look like dwarves. Wes is obviously very impressed by your beard as well. That's a proper Duality player right there.
Yeah, exactly.
By LLV. Artemango, congratulations to the winner. Blah, blah, blah. A bit more interesting. If you've got any questions for Paddy, feel free to sing out. But yeah, man, just like a super convincing victory, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, when you're running bloodthirsters, big monsters, or a Kafka, kill monsters.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about as well. It was sort of like a real, like a great army for you to play.
Yeah. Well, it hinged on him coming into second to third to double me.
Yes.
If he doubled me, he could have hurt me a bit, and then it wouldn't have been such a big dramatic swing. But I got the turn, and
a lot of stuff sort of went your way, but that's hammers.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's good.
But well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Good luck for the rest of the tournament. We'll might see you a bit later on the stream, potentially, or tomorrow. So,
absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome,
sweet.
Man.
Cheers, dude.
And so that was Paddy. The boats. I think the boats are just chilling at the moment. So, hey, James.
How are you?
Yeah, good to meet you.
Sorry, it's hard to sit down right now.
That's okay. If you need to stand or if you need a cushion, we can organise that for you. But if you want to sort of shuffle over a little bit more, just to sort of get you there. So, man. Obviously, Fyreslayers are pretty brutal, so...
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to have trouble sitting down for the rest of the day, and good thing we're standing.
For sure.
It's all good, mate. It's a learning experience, isn't it?
Absolutely, man. It's one of those things where Paddy just sort of mentioned that he had a lot of things sort of go his way. Had a lot of luck in regards to where things were positioned and terrain. You weren't sort of in a position where you could make the most of all your bloodthirsters getting into the action. So
mate, I tried to send it. You send it, you get sent, and I sent it, and it didn't happen.
Hey man, sometimes you make calculated risk, and sometimes you're bad at maths. So
Mate, and sometimes you're bad at rolling dice. Yeah. It's a good thing he's got fists on his dice, because that's how I feel. Right?
Oh man, it's what it is, man. But no, we were really we thought your list was really great. Unfortunately, probably not a great matchup for you. Unfortunately, but and also
good bloke to verse. So it's good fun, mate. Good
absolutely,
fun.
It's one of those things where sometimes, at least I know for myself, if I'm not having a successful day of playing, at least if your opponent is a really nice person, that makes up for it. And
amen to that, mate.
Luckily, we've got a lot of really nice people on the team.
AOS community is fantastic.
Absolutely.
100%.
So I was just mentioning as well, I personally don't know you very well. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, whereabouts are you from?
Representing the Hammer Hub.
Yep.
Obviously on stream, not a good thing with that game just gone. But
man,
we're from the Gold Coast, mate. We're easy going. Great community down there.
Awesome.
Shout out to Eddie down there at Games Workshop.
Hey, Eddie.
Warhammer.
I know Eddie.
Good bloke, top bloke.
Great bloke.
So, mate, all the guys down there, we're missing the guys that aren't with us now, but Mate, you know, like I've just come into the hobby after 40k, and
Yep.
the community for 40k is so very different.
Yeah, we've commented on that a little bit. Sort of, it is fairly.
Like you don't want to be negative and say stuff like that, you know, in the general sense, but mate, the AOS is like a big family, isn't it?
It is.
Really.
It really is.
Everyone laughs, has a good laugh.
100%.
A few beers,
Yeah, man, it's just about the sweet times, play some hammers, and
a
then
few fisting.
yeah. Like, hey, man, when you're comfortable with people, a lot of things happen. You know,
Oh,
so-
mate, it's, yeah, I like to get wine to dine first, but that's okay.
Oh man, it's you know, like being a little bit promiscuous and getting out there is not a bad thing as well. So just looking at the chat, blah blah blah. Dry's here. How many practice games do you get in a week? Did you have much prep in regards to the lead up to this week?
Mate, I'm studying building design, so
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah,
didn't get much study in, but didn't get much game time in, obviously.
that's all right. That happens.
No, mate, it's a hard balance, isn't it? With,
Yeah,
you know, as a dad and everything, and trying to work and study.
Yep.
It's, mate, plastic crack. It's one of those things you can't get away from.
Oh,
can you?
absolutely, man. Yeah, 100%.
No, it's good, mate. It's a good game.
Oh, awesome, James. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. Thanks
Good
for
on you,
jumping
mate.
on the stream, and yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you a bit more.
Good on you.
Awesome,
Enjoy,
bro.
guys.
Thanks, guys. Awesome. So yeah, that was James. Really nice guy. Yeah, obviously things didn't go super well for him, but obviously we wish him the best of luck for the rest of the tournament. Jumping into the chat, Pat left the boats. Yes, he did. So boats are in there at the moment. Stratty putting on some more congratulations. Out to Manmigo, obviously giving some support there as well. Yeah, it's great to see some more Gold Coast people for sure. More pockets of players popping up. Yeah, there is. There's like, it's crazy how much like little communities there are everywhere that you're not really aware of until they sort of appear.
Oh,
you know?
well,
So,
I knew that there was going to be a few people from the Sunny Coast, but actually seeing them here as a group.
well, James is from the Gold Coast.
Oh,
so-
sorry, Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Was actually, I don't know, it just made me feel really nice and warm on the inside because it was just nice to have a community that supports everybody else as well. And when you have a group of like 6 or 7 or more coming up to support us up here, it
Yeah.
really makes me feel lovely.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
nice.
Well, as James said, like fantastic community. Can't speak like more
Highly.
well of it. Highly of it. Yeah, that's probably. That's
I'm not
probably a
very
bit
good with
high.
words either, so
Oh.
I'm like, I don't know that.
It's hot in here, guys. So the brain isn't working the best, unfortunately. Just jumping in the chat. That's when you know you're doing things right. Yeah, absolutely. So.
Thanks, Dries.
Yes, that's right. The drizzy.
The drizzle
The
himself.
stickiest of the ickiest. So Daniel Dries, local Toowoomba gentleman, beautiful man, even more beautiful family,
Yes.
and yeah, good friend of the failed charge, and yeah, most people in general. So
Yeah, he's lovely actually. So what I'm going to try and do is I'll see whether we can just get some information of some of the other tables around, so we're not just leaving this round.
yeah,
done
absolutely.
As it is.
So realistically,
So-
guys, we've probably got like a bit of an hour, so we might just make this like we don't really have this planned, but what we'll do is we'll make an opportunity to maybe like catch up with some people, have a bit of a chat on how their games are going, learn a bit more about maybe some people.
Yeah.
In the area. So
Yeah, definitely. So I'll see if I can grab one of these fellas' attention here and see if I can get them to grab us some table info of games that are still happening.
Yeah.
That way we can learn about basically the tournament, see what's going on, feel involved basically.
let's
with what's
get some little impromptu interviews as well. Let's get
Yeah,
some people
I'm
on
trying
here.
to find some people that have finished playing that we can get up here and just nag them.
See
It's
how
funny.
Cliff is. All right, we can. We'll get
Yeah,
some.
we should get Cliff.
we'll get
He's
some-
Clint this time because he's.
Oh yeah, Clint's here.
Clint.
Sorry,
Clint.
Cliff is on his Abyssal Terror, floating around in the world
Yes,
of Shyish at the
I know.
moment.
I'm looking around and not paying attention to the camera. I'm trying to just get people's attention. Excuse me, Patty. Can you do me a favour? Can you please get Clint and get the gentleman up here for me?
If he's
Yeah.
not playing.
If he's not playing, please.
So yeah, Paddy was nice enough to swing past, and we'll see if we can get some people happening. Back in the chat, I want to see. What's saying Dino? Yeah,
Yeah,
see
well,
what
Dino's still
doing.
playing. I can see him from here. He's actually playing Zach Watson
timeline.
at the moment, from the manager from the Capalabar shop.
Yeah, shout out Warhammer Capalabar.
Yeah, Mr. Zach.
Yeah, if you're in the Redland Bay area or the Bayside area, get in touch with Zach. Go and see him. He is a beautiful man, really great hobbyist. Also really great to see. So yeah, read back into chat, and the In the Army of Destro, yeah. We'll have to try and get something organised there. So.
I thought the Army of Destro was Sean's army. So before Dave Kerr and Gammy were saying that the Army of Destro was Sean's army.
Okay.
Because he's won the most best destruction awards.
Oh, true.
Out of
yeah.
them. So, Dino, I'm sorry, mate. You've been set aside. We have now got a new man on top, and that is Mr. Sean himself.
The big body, the big torso, XL torso, larger than life, travelling abroad, the Tanzanian King, Big Mumbo. There's so many names for Sean actually.
For Sean, so we'll have to see whether we can get his attention as well, and see whether we can do an interview with him while he is here. So he doesn't get to play Arnie Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's the best. So we'll see what we can do. We've got someone chasing up Clint for us at the moment if he's not playing. But
I think he is still playing currently. So
we need some other people to finish early.
that's cool. We'll organise something. We'll keep
We'll
you
get
we'll keep you entertained for the time being.
We'll just have to talk some extra
fail
shiz.
trying to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay.
That's all right.
But yeah, chat. What's happening? What are we doing? What's everyone up to right now? Stratty, what are you doing? Are you hobbying? Are you drinking beer? Are you being a dad? We need to know.
He's not here, that's for sure.
he is not here.
He is not here.
Where are you, Stratty?
Yeah.
Why aren't you here?
Letting the team down.
Yes.
He is.
He is in the middle table at the moment.
He's on the middle table. He's
don't
actually pretty much precisely on the middle table.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know what he's playing actually. So, but yeah, we're starting to get a few more games sort of wrapping up and everything.
I'll be
like
back
that.
in 2 seconds.
Gemma's going to have a little bit of a brief hiatus. Being a dad, very good. Being the responsible person. But yeah, we were talking earlier in regards to Cities of Sigmar and War Clans. I am in a lot of trouble in that area. I'm very worried about wanting to buy lots of stuff. Talking to Mick and Gemma and Sean, as well as lots of other sort of Toowoomba locals are super excited about War Clans as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of scared, to be honest. Looking at Bone Splitters, some ridiculous combos that you can sort of do there. I'm kind of worried. Drizzle, kids are asleep. Time to work on ogres. Yeah, that's super exciting as well. So more tribes isn't too far away. It'll be interesting to see what comes first, whether we'll have an ogre book or the Bone Reapers, whether that'll be next. So yeah, it'll be super interesting. So.
All right, so I've managed to pick up Corey. So he is playing Skaven over the weekend. So he's going to sit down, and Josh, you can just do a slight little interview with him if you like. I'll get out of the way. You can move here.
So you will need to talk into the mic on that one. So we did have a bit of a quick match on the stream. So we've got to fill a little bit of time here.
Yeah, sweet.
But yeah, so we had Paddy with his Fyreslayers versus Khorne, James and his Tyrants of Blood Khorne.
Was that the 3 Thirster list or the 4 Thirster list?
I think it was 4. So
yeah, okay.
But yeah, Paddy was able to take a convincing win there. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know you, who are you?
Okay, so my name's Corey Papanimi. I've recently got into the hobby.
Can we pronounce your surname 3 times?
Yeah, Papanimi. So the best way to do it is Papanimi, so like Papa as in father.
Yes.
Me, sort of thing.
Papa ni me.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I'm a high school teacher. I teach dance and drama. I've been playing professional video games before getting into the hobby.
What games were you playing?
I was on one of the Australian teams for League of Legends.
Awesome.
And I played the circuit for fighting games, so like Street Fighter and Tekken.
Awesome.
Yeah, and
I'm a huge Tekken fan.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, who do you play?
I used to really enjoy playing Yoshimitsu. So.
Mate, who doesn't love Yoshimitsu, right?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Lars was for me.
And Jin probably. So.
Yeah, Jin's sweet. Yeah. So yeah, I fell off that just because just like a lot of younger people coming into the scene, and it just wasn't the same. And I really missed the human interaction with a lot of things. So
yeah, for sure.
I picked this back up, played it when in Fantasy when I was like 13, 14.
Yep.
And when AOS 2.0 dropped, I picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've been playing and loving it ever since, man. My life is Hammers now, yeah.
Yeah, so I remember you had a bit of Nurgle, obviously Skaven at the moment.
Mate, we played in the first tournament I ever went to, which was Brisshammer.
Really?
Yeah, you beat me to game 2.
Which Brisbane was this?
This was Brisshammer 1. Yeah, I was playing Nurgle, I was playing my Blight list, my Blight Cyst.
Holy
And
crap.
you were playing your Death list with
You
your
weren't
40 zillion hounds?
You weren't wearing your glasses then. So.
No, I had hair as well, so that would have helped.
Holy crap! I didn't put 2 and 2 together. There,
That's cool, man. So yeah, but that was before Thricefold
Yeah,
became a
because
thing.
you weren't feeling well on the second day.
No,
so I remember you had like your finger and yeah.
So the week before, I was working on some conversions and I sliced a third of my thumb off.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, and it got stitched up, and then it got infected, and so I had to pull out the second day.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I definitely remember all that happening. I definitely remember the game because it was like 2 big units of Blight King.
Yes.
You had
And-
a great unclean one. You had I definitely remember it. Oh, sorry,
Mate,
man. I feel
and
so
you
terrible
just
now.
outmaneuvered the hell out of me. Up until that point, I'd won every single game I played because I was playing with my friends.
Yep.
And it was very much a push forward and roll dice and have a sort of fun.
Yep.
And that was the first one I went to, and I was like, wow, okay, this game has a lot more to it than I thought.
Yep.
It's not just about running up a list and rolling dice. It's actually about like the movement turn.
Yeah.
Mate, you were just a master. Those hounds coming around the sides, pinning me on both sides, denying my retreat, and then just falling back with your
Spirit Host.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember.
I was just shaking my head going, what is going on? Like, on paper, these hounds are terrible, but you're just absolutely dominating. It's amazing.
Well, that's how I always used to play them, was just literally just fort denial and just to get in the way of shit, basically.
Yeah, it's
So-
brilliant. Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. Jumping into Strat, just a quick look at chat. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Stratty. Glad you're appreciating the stream. Sorry you couldn't make it, though. Drizzle, props to, Corey, absolutely. What was the first army you played?
I played Nurgle. So when I came in, look, like from a competitive background from video games,
Yep.
I pretty much am like just like a T-horse. So whatever's the best placing army, I'll typically like play and purchase.
Yep.
So Nurgle at the time was really, really strong. So I was playing Blight Cyst army,
Yes.
and this is before Thricefold became
yep.
super popular, and hence why I'm playing Skaven now.
Yeah, cool. Are you enjoying the Skaven? Are you thinking?
Oh,
are you
mate.
tempted by any other armies at the moment?
I'm actually really keen on the new Jaws. I don't think they're S tier, but I think they'll be a lot more fun.
Yep,
And a lot less models to handle.
for sure.
At the moment, I'm looking into getting 9 Stormfiends. That's pretty much the big rage.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm loving the Skaven. I love the fact, because I used to play Blood Bowl.
Yep.
I converted all my Acolytes and Jezzails from the Blood
Yeah,
Bowl
I did
models.
notice that. Yep.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Really happy with that.
Because
And-
your Jezzails and your Acolytes, I believe, are from the Blood Bowl team, from what I saw earlier.
yeah,
so-
Jezzails are the
the
gutter runners.
Gutter runners,
Yeah, with
because
the big
it's
cape
like the
and
jump up
everything.
and the bush capes and everything
Yeah.
like that, which they've been affectionately known as. So, which is awesome. So,
Yeah, and mate, and just on the table, they're just so much fun to play.
yeah, they are great. Yeah, absolutely. Like heaps of range. Obviously, that mortal wound threat. You can buff them like they're a fantastic piece in the game for sure.
Yeah, see, a lot of people, it's interesting because everyone I play, they tend to ask me, okay, so the Jezzails, like, and they like deploy around them, but they don't realise that the Acolytes is the thing to be really afraid of.
That is 100%. I prior to the new book coming out, my thoughts were to run your pop-ups Skaven with 30 Acolytes and popping up, and obviously screening them appropriately, but just basically popping up and just posing people with globes. So
Yeah.
that was my thoughts. So, but it's good to see like an army that wasn't really necessarily super popular doing really well as well. So.
Yeah.
Because in the lore, like, they're amazing, like Queek and like Bankwall and like all the really interesting characters and different things like that. There's like a really rich tapestry of lore behind there as well. So
Yeah, Skaven are pretty are freaking dope. I love Skaven. As far as the lore goes, they've just been, and just the fact that they're Warhammer's own IP,
Yeah,
which means they can
100%.
do a lot with them creatively.
Absolutely.
And I just love, like, it's unfortunate that you get a lot of updates on the sculpts. I mean, the Stormfiends look amazing. I love
great
those models.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it's cool.
Awesome. So tell us about the weekend. What have you played so far?
So my first game, and it was the only army I desperately wanted to play, was against the 1200 point dragon army.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's so much fun. Had a great time. He was a great guy.
Yep.
And yeah, so turn one, I had more drops. I had less drops than him, so I gave him turn one being Orb, of course.
Yep.
Walked forward, charged, killed 60 clan rats.
Yep.
I still had 60 more to go.
Yep.
And yeah, just buffed up acolytes, took him out 36 damage. So,
Yeah, wow, awesome. I love it. Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
Game 2.
Game 2 was against James Sharman.
Yes.
We played a couple of games before. He's playing his Feck list with
Yes.
5 Terror Guys.
Yeah, which is terrifying. Yep.
It is terrifying, but when you have 100 clan rats protecting all your good stuff, it kind of went the same way, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great guy, great game. And we actually had a bit of a rules dispute about how the capturing of the objective works within, what's the mission? Duality?
Duality, yes.
And he handled it so brilliantly. We resolved it with the TO, and I just, props to James Sharman, he's a great guy.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, there was from experience from other people, some other people would have gotten upset with the way that we handled things, but he was just class act the whole way. What a gentleman.
Yeah, absolutely.
lovely.
Yeah, Jimmy is a friend of like most people in general and everything like that, and super nice dude. So
Yeah, it was a great game.
I'm not
Great
surprised to hear that news. So.
Yeah. Happily give him all my sports votes. He's a great guy.
Yeah, awesome, man. Oh, well, I think we've got someone else lined up to come and have a quick chat
brilliant.
and everything. But
Thanks for everything.
good luck with the rest of the event.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Thanks for jumping on, and we might see you potentially on the stream later on in the event.
Yeah, I hope so.
Awesome, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, bud. That was Corey, obviously playing Skaven, great player and everything like that. Who have we got here?
Josh Carroll.
Oh, hello, Josh. How are you?
Great name.
Thanks for jumping on.
Cheers,
so,
bro.
you can always trust a Josh. So.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what they say. Do you want to scoot over a bit so it doesn't look like you're eating a microphone? Excellent. So, Josh, for anyone who doesn't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself, if I can speak English.
Just been playing hobby for 4 or 5 years. Played Sigma, 40k, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, awesome.
Unfortunately, I'd never bring the same army to an event, so I'm always painting.
Yeah.
Finished my army at 7:30 this morning.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So, Capalaba local from memory. Obviously, good friends with Blake and everything
Zach,
like that. Yeah, awesome guys. So, good to see. So, I personally already know the answer, but what did you bring?
I brought the Khorne Dragon.
Oof.
Yeah. I also took him to CanCon. I was one of the 3.
I do remember. Yeah, I remember seeing it there, which is really cool. So, how's the dragon performing?
I died first turn in the first game.
Oh shit.
Acolyte sort of looked at him, and he disappeared in a green cloud.
They tend to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah. So that was still a good game, but
yeah, awesome.
And just played Nighthawk then, and he killed 70-80% of the army.
Yep.
Just ran around.
Oh, fantastic.
Charged stuff, killed it, shot something, killed
Excellent.
it. Yeah.
Lots of blood tide?
Yeah.
Did you summon anything cool?
No, I didn't bring any summoning, unfortunately.
Oh, that's okay.
So I like to use them to let him swing in the hero phase.
Yeah, I was going to say there's plenty of it's an interesting dynamic now with like the new Khorne book. How you it's a tough choice between whether you want abilities or whether you want to summon stuff, and I guess that flexibility is nice as well. So some of those right at the end of the list for abilities are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like extra attacks, healing, different things like that.
I normally forget about it. Get 10, 12 blood type points and then just spend 4 just to let him attack.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, that's really cool. So, are you working on anything at the moment, or what's next if you're not going to bring same list?
I'm working on a Zench list for the Runax.
Awesome.
I'm bringing a multitude as host.
Oh, awesome.
So
lots of painting.
Yeah. So there's 100 models in the list.
Yes.
And I got about 180 for summoning.
Yeah. It's I've looked at it, but I'm just I don't want to paint that much, and I don't want to own that much, to be honest.
It's not a good list, but it should be a bunch of fun to play.
Absolutely. No, that's really, really cool. Just looking at chat, Drizzle asked this before, but what was your first army, Josh?
First army was Tyranids.
Nids?
Yeah,
okay.
back in the day.
Awesome. So that's probably why you got along with Blake pretty well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, played Tyranids, just always played the big. Played lots of Hive Tyrants, Carnifexes,
awesome.
And then obviously the Dragon.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, cool.
The bigger the model, the better.
Absolutely. And what about Fantasy? What was your first army there?
Warriors of Chaos.
Warriors, yeah, cool.
Yeah, and that again was a Chaos Troll army.
Oh, nice.
So lots of big models.
Yeah, like Throg and all the cool
Throg,
stuff.
Chimeras.
Yeah, awesome, man. Oh, that's really, really cool. So, is there any armies or anything that you want to play ideally this weekend, or?
Not Khorne.
Not Khorne.
I don't want to play 5 Bloodthirsters.
Yep, that's fair.
Because they'll win that fight with the dragon. But other than that, really anything. Yeah.
Happy to throw down.
Yeah, I'm happy to throw down, see if the dragon can kill it, and if not, the dragon dies and Khorne doesn't care because something's dead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Khorne does not care where the blood flows.
No, it does not.
Yeah, that should be good. Oh, very good. Well, I might see what other people are going to be jumping on the stream next.
Yep.
But thank you, Josh. Good luck with the rest of the event.
Cheers,
thank you
mate.
very much, sir.
Cheers.
We'll talk to you soon. So yeah, guys, we've got. Sorry, Drizzle did miss that one there. But still some good questions that I can chuck on for some other guests. Might even just add them on to. Might just add them on to the next person. Who we got?
Hello.
Oh, is it Clint or Cliff that we've got here?
No, it's definitely a Clint day today.
It's Clint.
It's definitely a Clint day.
So it's the man of the hour. I would shuffle over Clint so you don't look like you're eating a microphone. So.
Well, I look like I ate everything else. So.
Hey, just calm down. A bit of self-love here, a bit of appreciation. So, pleasure to have you. Thanks for.
Thank you.
I'm wanting you to shake my hand.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
just beckoning.
I'm presenting it, so
Oh,
take
yeah.
the offer, Clint. Take the
Aye,
offer. Yeah. So how's the weekend going?
2 losses so far.
2 losses so far.
Yeah, I lost to a double Mortark death list just earlier today.
It's surprisingly like not a bad little combo.
Well, it's Neferata, Arkan, Vordry,
Oh Jesus.
and it just goes boom at you, and yeah, I couldn't get out of my deployment zone, which is unhelpful.
Yep, absolutely.
Then I just played a Hagnar Daughters list.
Oh, shit,
Somehow
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
at the bottom tables.
Shit.
Well, it's game 2. He clearly just lost. So he's got 2 units of 15. 2 units of 15 Blood Sisters.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so Graveguard went through 1 unit, and then the other unit came in with all of the buff tokens on.
Yep.
I swear there was like half a dozen of them.
Yep.
And he just went bam and just wiped out the Graveguard to a man.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Shit.
Marathi did a bit of a bad touch to Manfred.
Oh no.
Just was like, no, you go away now.
Oh jeez. Poor little Manfred. The odds weren't in his favour, unfortunately. So.
No, I did it to myself though. I left a Marathi-sized hole near him.
Yeah, someone there was a table update saying that there was a perfectly sized base gap for a Marathi, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
that happens, unfortunately.
it does if you play like me.
Oh, Clint, it's all right. It's all good. Jumping into the chat, Drizzle has been super active. Obviously, I know the answer here, but he's been asking, which I'm going to ask again. What was your first army?
First, what, like,
First Averse army.
death?
Death, yes.
Death.
For anyone, so for the 2 people who don't know that answer already, it is...
It was death. It was original death back before they had a book or any sort of battle tome or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, just my old school Vampire Counts army rebased.
Yep, very nice, very nice. What is your current favourite model that you own?
That's my current favourite model that I own. Manfred on a horse. It's why he's my favourite character. It's like Manfred on a horse. They sell him now as Vampire Lord on Nightmare,
Yes.
I think. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
the
correct.
7th edition Manfred.
Very nice, very nice. Jumping back into chat, Kelsey Core wanted to know if there's any IDNF swimming about. Yes, I have seen 2 lists.
Few wheels.
Yeah, one is all eels and a king, I believe, and the other one has a Eidolon of Mathlin. I think it's the fighty version, which is Storm, I believe. I believe it's a
I
Storm.
don't know.
I believe it's a
I
Storm.
don't know, sorry.
Some Battle Line Thralls and 2 big units of eels, from what I understand. So yeah, pretty cool to see some IDNF around. It was Jack Solomon's, the pink ones.
Yep.
They look fantastic.
Yep.
Look really, really nice. Yeah, there's actually quite a great spread of armies, actually. So.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I saw some Minotaurs running around, some Bulgars.
Yeah.
But I think they're part of a Nurgle army or something like that.
Correct. Yeah. So they, I can't remember the name of the battalion specifically. I think it's like the Pestilent Throng or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. I was trying to remember which of the ones it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Pestilent Throng.
I had to look that one up specifically. It doesn't really do a whole lot though, so it makes everything keyword Nurgle, and then when a unit gets wiped out, models within, I think it's 6 inches, take a mortal wound and a 2-up, I think it is. So potentially some splash damage.
I think it might just be a good way of getting beasts into the Nurgle force. You know.
I'd say that's probably it. So.
Yeah. So same as like Brass to Spoilers is good for getting them into the core.
Yeah, which is like devastating, unfortunately.
Yeah. Brass to Spoilers is a bit better than that. But yeah, no, I was just surprised. Look over, see a whole bunch of Bulgars in a tray. I'm like, yes.
Yep, absolutely. And there's the problems that you have with their legs and their knees. Was that potentially a topic that was covered on Heralds once? Wasn't there like some sort of?
I don't think I had the problem. I like the Bulgar models.
I swear it was someone. It might have been another podcast potentially, but yeah, I just remember someone having some problems with like their legs shouldn't look that way.
Yeah,
the
they've got
leg should be
hooves
there.
and feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. It might have been Travis.
It might have been Travis.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds like a Travis potential problem that he would have. But great opportunity. Tell us a little bit more about the charity army. Tell us a bit more about how it's working.
Okay.
How that all came about.
Yeah, so earlier this year, Trav and I were talking, and we discussed that we would it'd be awesome to paint up an army and then raffle that off for charity.
Yes.
And so we kind of picked 2 charities so that people had the option. So
Yes.
we've got the RSPCA,
Awesome.
you know, the animal charity, the animal welfare.
Absolutely.
And then we've got the Cancer Council, which obviously is self-explanatory.
Absolutely.
So people can, you know, help either of those 2 charities out.
For sure.
Trav went, that's cool. Travis did what Travis does and took an idea and just ran with it. And before we talked about it, and then before we knew it, he had like 1,800 points of Nurgle.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, oh, I've talked to this person, I've got this, and I've got this, and I've got this.
Yep.
And Clint, there's a great unclean one, and this on its way for you to assemble, and da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, so it's going to be a pretty awesome Nurgle army. So I think it'll be more than 2,500 points,
Wow.
which is good. So that's cool. You got 2,000 a bit to play with.
Absolutely.
And we've got some special Herald's dice to go with it that we won't get in the same, like we won't get that colour again.
Specific colour, yep.
John Napick from the Ever Chosen podcast over in Texas, he's sending us a Nurgle wheel.
Oh, wow.
So thank you,
Awesome.
John.
That's good.
Yeah, he's like, oh, have you found the wheel? No. Right. He's like, cool, I'll get it over to you. So,
I'll just make it rain. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do some deluge on this on these
something
guys.
like
So.
that, yeah. So that's pretty cool. But tickets will go up for that after Sydney GT, probably.
Yeah. So Adam was on the stream earlier in our first game and mentioned that sort of mid-October I think he was saying.
Yeah, we're just sort of like we've got this event and we've got Sydney GT, and we had CanCon tickets this week, so we're just kind of just trying to stagger out people's attention, really, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they'll be like $5 tickets.
Oh, fantastic.
So, and people will be able to choose where their money goes, so they can split it down the middle.
Sounds great. Yeah, absolutely. So, for anyone who doesn't already, Heralds of War Facebook page, Heralds of War Twitter, keep an eye on what's happening with that. I'm sure Clint will keep everyone up to date. Heralds of War podcast. Just everything, guys. Patreon as well. Great Australian podcast. Obviously, Clint is the head TO of CanCon with Dennis. Absolutely. Just support those guys. Obviously, a great cause. Anyone who has pets, anyone who has been affected, obviously, even if they haven't personally, obviously they know.
I think
people.
everyone knows somebody who's been affected by cancer, whether it's personal or whether you're like, immediate family or extended family.
Absolutely. Oh, well, that's fantastic. But we'll keep in touch. Keep an eye out on what's happening in that regards, and we'll keep everything going up. Thanks, Clint. Really appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Good luck with the rest of the events.
Oh, it'll be wonderful, I'm sure.
Hey, man.
I can only go up now.
Absolutely. I think that's like one good thing about when you sort of don't have the greatest start is that either A, you know that there's zero pressure anymore and you can just enjoy having a good time and go from there.
Yeah, there was no pressure to start with. Like, I wasn't turning up today going, I'm going to win all my games.
Yeah, but if you got your first 2 done and then you end day 1 with 3 wins, you can't help but feel a little bit of pressure.
Like Cliff did at War on the West a couple of months ago.
That's right.
But that was Cliff playing. That wasn't Clint.
Yeah, we were saying that we saw Cliff riding his Abyssal Terror outside before, and he had a big Manfred whoosh cape and everything like that. So
he rode his Abyssal Terror out and left me to pilot the army.
Yeah, that's right. And he's back in the Heralds of War sweatshop, painting terrain currently. So
correct.
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't be painting terrain. He should be assembling squigs.
Assembling squigs. That's right, for Runax next month. So the twins are unfortunately very busy. Unfortunately, so we'll see what happens.
Twins. Right. Okay.
I like it. Awesome. All right, great. Well, thank you very much.
Take care.
Thanks, bud. Guys, we're going to potentially have a short break. Next round is starting at 3:30, so that just gives us a little bit of time just to stretch the legs, grab a drink, just do whatever basically.
Yeah,
So
we'll be back shortly.
Yeah, we'll be
the
back
next
shortly.
rounds.
Probably even potentially a little bit earlier than that. I'll throw up a tweet. We'll put some stuff up on the event. We'll put it up on social media when we're jumping back on or when we're just about to. Stay tuned, guys. Obviously, everyone in the chat, thank you very much for staying in touch. Thank you very much for keeping us company. Yes.
Just quickly, there is some Ardeneth swimming about, actually. I think there's at least 1 or 2
Yeah,
out
we
here.
were talking before. Jack Solomon has a really beautifully painted army, and there's also another very eel-heavy Ardeneth army that's floating around as well.
Yep.
Well,
Awesome.
but yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for keeping us company. Follow us on the channels just to stay in touch when we're jumping back on. But yeah, guys, we'll be back shortly, and we'll look at round 3 and finish up day 1.
Finish off day 1, exciting stuff.
Awesome. All right, guys, we'll be back shortly. Thank you.
See you.
See you soon. And we'll be back.